Hello, my name is Scott Rushton from Stormloop Technologies, and after receiving significant interest at Workday Rising last month, the Stormloop team will be sharing video content regarding Workday features and adaptive planning features that we find extremely interesting and helpful in our services engagements. Whether or not Stormloop is engaged, these features can be helpful for any Workday client, including the videos we've already put up, such as our built-on Workday applications, and future videos on strategy, Workday methodology, or any Workday features that you may or may not be using and potentially should be based on your requirements. As usual here at Stormloop, our priority is security, so we will be starting with a security feature. I'm presenting here on behalf of the Stormloop integration team, which commonly uses this feature on RAS reports and web service-based report requests from internal and external systems. So data warehouses, external integrations that leverage RAS functionality will use this feature and protect your data even further than you already are. I prepared a brief demo. These videos are intended to be just a few minutes. Hopefully this is helpful. If you have any additional commentary on this, feel free to comment on the video on any of the platforms. Share it with the Workday community. We will be sharing this with all of our customers and prospects, as well as our entire Workday network. And lastly, feel free to reach out. My email address is scott@stormlooptech.com. You can reach out to info@stormlooptech.com or reach out to any member of the Stormloop Technologies team. So today, like I said, I'll be reviewing the Security Proxy functionality, which is a severely underused feature of Workday security. I've pre-built a report here, RAS test. If I open this report, you will see it has 3 fields. You will see that it's owned by the adaptive ISU. This ISU was pre-set up before the presentation to have significant security. So if I call this endpoint via the view URLs, you will see, I'm not going to use a parameter. These are available to me. Obviously, that's a large payload. It's showing all supplier invoices. I've already done this, right? I see this here. If I click it again, the credentials default in, it reopens, right? This is being called as the adaptive ISU. If I were to share this ISU with an external party, they would then have access to whatever that ISU can access via its security assignments. So that's fine, right? They can call their Workday custom report, but they can also call any other report that are inaccurately shared with their security groups, as well as potentially some public web services that they can call to pull data or even push data into your Workday tenant, which may or may not be secure for your organization. We do have an application for this called the Security Analyzer up on the marketplace. I do recommend checking that out, but what I'm about to show is Workday delivered functionality. So if I go to Workday and I do create integration system user, I'm going to make a user called ISU test 5. I'm going to make the password, saying this so I don't forget, Workday 123. I'm going to press OK. I have an ISU here with absolutely no security. You just saw me create it. I have not assigned any integration system security groups here. Now I'm going to just go to the endpoint here, this adaptive ISU test. I'm going to come to an incognito window. I'm going to pull it up. I'm going to do ISU underscore test 5. I'm going to type in Workday 123. I do not have access to the report. The task submitted is not authorized. Classic Workday security error. If I come back to Workday and I type in create security proxy, I can type in that report for report definition. I can type in the proxied Workday account, which will be the adaptive ISU, and the authorized account, ISU underscore test 5. So what this means, just to put it in plain English, is that this account can access this report using this account's security. So it's inheriting the security from another ISU, even though this has no security itself, 0. Press OK. This then saves, right? You can put an expiration date. It's optional. I did not. If I go back to the report definition, you will see here on the report definition usages that it does have security proxies. Obviously, I created some to test before the demo. But you actually see this tied to the report. This report is referenced in a security proxy. So that report is owned by the adaptive ISU. It is shared with all authorized users. But again, that test 5 has no security. If I come back here and I rerun the RAS, I still get the error. In order to leverage the security proxy, you do need to go proxy username as a parameter on the endpoint, and you have to put equals adaptive ISU or the ISU that you use. Many clients of ours use like ISU owner or ISU master. Report underscore owner is common, but notice the question mark, proxy username, adaptive ISU. If I now press enter, you can see the report running. It generates the data. I didn't change anything. All I did was add this parameter. Right? So because I added this parameter and I have the security proxy set up, it now works. Now if I remove this parameter and rerun it, task submit is not authorized. If I add this parameter, oh, sorry, I think I added too much here. There you go. If I re-add the parameter with the question mark to indicate that there's a parameter on the endpoint, I now see the response. So this is a great way to give the credentials of ISU test 5 to your external vendor and say, hey, use this endpoint with this proxy username feature. They never get the adaptive ISU credentials. They only have their ISU test 5 credentials, which has 0 Workday security. So if they try to do anything else in your environment, you won't be able to provide them any data. They won't be able to put any data into Workday. They will get an error, right? They're only authorized to access this RAS. And just to show functionality here, if I come back to my 2 ISUs that I set up during this demo and one prior, and I'm just going to delete it. And then I'm going to delete this one. Okay. Back to my report definition. You now see 4 report usages. Now I'm going to come back to this. I should rerun this. Again, task submit, it's not authorized, even though I have the parameter there. So it's actively checking every time I call the endpoint, that security proxy. Right? This is extremely underused and extremely unknown in the Workday ecosystem that this functionality is available to protect your data. You're literally giving the vendor just a username and password and access to one endpoint. Keep in mind, you can also see all of the logon attempts in the sign-ons and attempted sign-ons report. So ISU test 5, even though it proxied as another user, I still see its active session here, right? So I do see that it tried to log in. If I tried to do something else, I would still see it. Now I use the correct credentials, which is why I was able to start a session, but it was not able to see any data with the proxy username when the proxy wasn't active. So we highly recommend using this feature to protect your data internally and externally. Just to show some of our applications that work with this, the multi-tenant security audit central application that Stormloop offers will allow you to monitor RAS access across all of your environments. I recommend checking out the Marketplace application, my first YouTube video here with about a 10-minute demonstration of the application. And then Security Analyzer will show you the minimum required security and the exact security needed for that parent ISU, so you're not also over-provisioning that. So we offer both custom report security, public API security, as well as WQL security for Workday Access. So this is a very user-friendly report that shows you exactly what security a user has relative to a specific Workday delivered or custom report. So these 2 applications, Security Analyzer and Multi-Tenant Security Audit Central, echo our prioritization as an organization on security. And this feature, which is Workday delivered, requires no application purchase, no additional SKU. It's built into your tenant already, is extremely helpful and something that we're very familiar with and very commonly set up for our clients. But if anybody has any additional ideas, context, feel free to leave them in the comments or send them to our team directly. We'd be happy to share. So goal of keeping this under 10 minutes achieved. Looking forward to more YouTube content from the Stormloop team, not just myself. And hopefully this was helpful as we continue to protect our clients' data. Thank you, and looking forward to hearing more.